Today we are going to speak all about mommy moments. Some of these moments will be quite difficult for me to share because I still have some severe mommy guilt attached to them. Other ones are very light-hearted, more focused on wat maak 'n 2-jarige in 'n klein kombuisie. But still, nonetheless, I'm really excited to share them with you and I hope you enjoy them. A question or something that I always tell myself when I'm struggling with my son or when I'm struggling with a certain situation I'm faced is, well, there are so many people raising children, so it can't be that difficult, right? But it is actually difficult. There are so many things that I find difficult, and sometimes I feel like there's something wrong with me because I find this difficult, but these are just the things that I find difficult and some of the things that I go through. Perhaps you've gone through that, perhaps you know someone who went through that, but I'm going to be sharing a lot of personal mommy moments. So the first time I realized that I'm going to be a mother was not as I expected it would be. So I got married in February 2016 and I was still studying then. I was studying medicine and my husband and I decided that we're going to get married, and obviously me focusing on my studies for the next 2 years. I had 2 years of studying left and then we will start our family. Well, things didn't go according to plan, and 2 months after we got married, I felt pregnant. I didn't expect it at all. I actually was in denial for a long time about it. I went to doctors, I did everything possible to realize or to find what is wrong with me. I felt so tired. In the mornings when I had to go to hospital, I just couldn't get out of bed. That was the complete opposite of what I was used to be like. And it went up to a certain point where my best friend decided that for my birthday present, or as part of my birthday present, on the 22nd of April, she's going to put a pregnancy stick in. Just as a joke, because she told me, I don't know how you cannot see it, but all of these symptoms you are experiencing are the typical pregnancy symptoms. I didn't want to believe it. I was rotating at Ops and Gynae at that moment on my way to pediatrics. And what usually happens when you are rotating, when you're a medical student and working with children, along the way you sometimes gain some of the childhood illnesses. And for me, it was important for me to prevent that. So I had some of my immunizations before I went to study pediatrics. And there are some of these immunizations you're not allowed to have if you are pregnant. So obviously, I went for a pregnancy test before I got all of my immunizations. And I went for a blood pregnancy test. So it is supposed to be very accurate. But the pregnancy test showed that I'm not pregnant. And I had all of my immunizations. Rubella, which is dates and morsels. I had all of these immunizations, and some of them are very, very dangerous to have while pregnant. So that was rewinding a bit, and now we are at my pediatrics rotation. I have all of these symptoms. My friend told me that she thinks I'm pregnant. I told her there's no way in life that I can be pregnant, and I am in my home with a pregnancy test. So my husband is in Cape Town, I'm in Bloemfontein, and now I'm faced with a decision. Do I take the pregnancy test or not? So I phoned him. He doesn't like surprises, and I told him, I have this pregnancy test. Do you think I should do it? And he said, just do it. We know there's no way that you can be pregnant. The last time we saw each other was before you had the previous pregnancy test, so nothing could have happened. So I took the pregnancy test and it was positive. I didn't know what to feel. I was obviously very happy because I'm pregnant, but it wasn't the way we planned it. So it was a very difficult situation that I faced at that stage. So now I am studying medicine, I'm pregnant, and I have all of these pregnancy symptoms. I was already 2 months pregnant when I found out. Another difficult part of pregnancy for me was dealing with my emotions. I'm not a very emotional person. I rarely cry. I'm rarely overexcited. I'm kind of constant. And studying medicine, it's very important to control your emotions because you are so often faced with situations that are sad, people passing away, so you really have to control your emotions. And that was so difficult for me to do that when I came home, I was just an emotional, on an emotional roller coaster. I still remember the first time my husband came to visit me when I found out I was pregnant. I really wanted to make him pancakes, and he loves pancakes. In South Africa, we make pancakes with cinnamon and sugar, so I really wanted to spoil him with pancakes. And I just couldn't get it right. The batch of dough was already done, and I didn't have one single pancake that he could eat. And I still remember just bursting out into tears, telling him, I can't even make you pancakes. How will I be able to raise your children? So I really went through an emotional roller coaster, which was unlike what I usually went through. And everyone has different situations and different experiences while they're pregnant. Some have a lot of cravings. I still remember I craved oranges and beer. I never drink beer. And I craved the bitterness of beer. So I used to drink alcohol-free beer when I was pregnant. I probably shouldn't have mentioned that, but it was alcohol-free beer. When it came to breastfeeding, I really wanted to breastfeed my son, and it went well with the breastfeeding in the beginning. But then I had to go back to studying medicine when he was 7 days old. And that is where the mommy guilt kicked in. I have sleepless nights still thinking that I didn't spend a lot of time with him. I didn't spend the time that I ought to spend with him because I had to go back to studying when he was 7 days old. And I still feel guilty about that, but that was just the situation that I'm in. I managed to breastfeed for 3 months exclusively, and then went on to 6 months breastfeeding and while substituting, and then I stopped breastfeeding after 6 months. And that was probably till date the most difficult year of my life, because I constantly felt guilty. Either I wasn't studying hard enough, or I didn't spend enough time with my son. I had a long distance marriage at that stage, so my husband wasn't near, and I had to face all of these things alone, which was very, very difficult. And I didn't want it to have an influence on my son. Now I'm faced with completely different challenges. My son is now 2 years old, so extremely busy, and I don't know how to discipline him. I have no idea how to discipline him. I've tried various methods. The one method was timeouts, which I think is working well. So what happened was, my son has a very, very strong personality, and he has quite a temper. So if I tell him, no, you can't do this, or no, we can't have nanas now, we can have it after we have lunch, then he'll just hit me. And I didn't know what to do, because I can't. Sometimes a lot of people think that you should, I don't know, not hit them, but make them, yes, flick them or something. But I didn't want to do that, because then it kind of reiterates that if you're not happy with something, you hit someone or you flick someone. So I didn't want to do that. So I decided, okay, I'm going to try this timeout thing. I didn't want to put him in his room because I wanted him to feel safe in his room, and his toilet is in his room. So I didn't want to put him in the toilet in the room. So I decided the next best option would be in the klein kombuisie, which is the small kitchen next to the kitchen where all of the washing is done, the dishes are being washed, and I'm going to put him there. So I opened the door, put him there, told him, what you did was wrong. You're hurting mommy, and you're hurting my feelings, and I don't like what you're doing now. It is wrong. I want you to sit here now, and then I'll come get you 2 minutes after, but this is what happens if you do something wrong. And I closed the door. He cried for about 2 seconds, and I planned on leaving him in there for 2 minutes. So I closed the door, cried, and then, okay, he stopped crying. I'm more nervous than him because I'm not sure what's going to happen, but stopped crying, listening. Okay, he's quiet. Maybe he's thinking about what he's doing or what he did. And then I heard the washing machine going on. I'm like, oh my goodness, did he climb in the washing machine? What's happening? I opened the door, and there he was standing with such a big smile, so proud of himself. He turned on the washing machine. And the worst was, the lady who washes our clothes, my co-mommy, she put my husband's feather jacket in there just to keep it there for her to hand wash it. You're not allowed to wash it in the washing machine. So the washing machine was switched on with my husband's favorite feather jacket inside, and my little boy smiling, very proud of himself. And when I eventually could open the washing machine, all of the feathers were lying in the one corner. So that did not work well. I'll try it one day, I'll try it again. So mommy guilt definitely follows me around wherever I go. I'm not sure if you feel the same way, but I always have something to feel guilty about. And come to think of it, the one thing that I feel most guilty about, apart from, spending little time with him and studying and everything, was I was so excited about what he would say, what his first word would be. And I was thinking, mommy, daddy, mama, papa, baba, whatever. And I was so shocked when his first word came out. And it was, Nia. Nia. And I realized I probably said no too many times. So that is one thing that I really feel guilty about. And I still focus on not saying no a lot of times. And even though it seems like it's easy from the outside, you probably also feel like it's difficult. We all face different difficulties. We find difficult stages of our children's life we find difficult. But if I know that I do everything I do out of love and out of unconditional love, then that's enough for me. So I hope you enjoyed my sharing about all of these mommy moments. I'm not sure if you would want to watch it, but these are the things that happen to me. These are the things that I struggle with at the moment. And yes, thank you for watching. Ek hoop dat julle dit geniet het. As julle enige mama oomblikke het wat julle wil deel, maak asseblief so. Please comment below.